Hey everybody, welcome back. This is your friendly fantasy football channel, Amazing Fantasy Football. I am your co-host Chris, and joining us as always is...
I am the pineapple soda to your celery soda, Chris, and that is Josh.
Both sound disgusting. I'll take pineapple soda in that situation.
They have a pineapple Fanta, actually, and celery soda, I guess, from what I've heard, is a main fixture at a Jewish deli. I want to try it sometime.
Nice.
It sounds weird, but I'd try it once. You know, like it can't be hideous, right?
No, it should be all right. Hoping our music level is okay. Seems a little loud to me. Please, any viewers at home, let me know if the music is too loud, but I think we're all right.
Yes, we are AFFB, and we are the we are doing this on a new night now.
Yeah, since we're practically in the fantasy off season, we're going to go and do a show on Friday night here, and we'll be wrapping up the end of season and the, I guess you could say, postseason off season for fantasy here in the next few weeks on Friday nights, just to give us a little bit more time to take care of IRL stuff during the week. And yeah, so excited about doing something a little different tonight. It'll be a little more off the cuff, a little more reactionary, if you will, as the title entails. We are doing a bust draft, so if you want a busty draft. If you want to see who not to pick or who you should not have picked, let's put it that way. Tune in.
I thought this was kind of a fun spin on guys that, you know, instead of doing like a worst of or whatever, you know, it was. Everyone likes to do drafts, right?
Mm-hmm. It'll be reflective, as in a reflection upon who you know, what we shouldn't have done. But it'll also be informative in terms of, you know, you may or may not expect the same thing next year. ADP should go down for some of these guys next year. You know, maybe you get a value. Maybe you get a value.
Yep.
So.
All right, Chris.
You got some news for us, sir?
I do have some news for us, Chris. I do. Give me 1 second while I flip windows here, and let's start at the top with what was that dude's name that got injured on Monday night that had the heart attack?
Damar Hamilton.
Hamlin.
Sorry, Hamlin.
I always want to call him Devin. Anyways, he had a heart attack on the field, cardiac arrest, same thing. I didn't see it happen, but from everything that I gather, it wasn't actually necessarily football related. Like, it's not like he made a tackle and his like arm fell off or something, you know, it seemed like it was more of a matter of circumstance than anything else, you know?
It's Latin, so I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. I assume the term is commotio cordis. Commotio cordis with a T. Commotio cordis.
What are you trying to say here?
That's what happened to him. He got hit in the chest at the exact right time.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he got hit in the chest at the exact right time of a cycle of the heart, electric cycle of the heart.
I know what you're talking about.
At just the right time to cause him to go into cardiac arrest, as you already said.
I said corrected. Anyways, I mean, obviously our thoughts go out to him and his family and everything. Apparently he was a super great guy. I don't know him, so that's why I'm saying apparently, you know, hopefully he gets better, and, you know, there's been a lot of things that have, I mean, I've never seen such an injury, an on the field incident be so impactful to the entire league. It's crazy.
There's been some absolutely awful injuries in the history of the NFL. People concerned for their well-being, but not necessarily so much concerned for their life. The only thing that comes to mind is the NBA, Reggie Lewis, Boston Celtics. Gosh, I don't know, early 90s, we'll call it. Collapsed. Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure. And forgive me, I think he did pass away from that. That was a pre-existing condition, having nothing to do with Damar. This is just like lightning striking kind of thing, man. Like this it's crazy.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's doing a lot better too.
Exactly.
Like on the road to recovery. Anyways, let's flip it over to those who, because of this incident, those of you might be playing actually in week 18.
Right,
Normally I would say don't do that, but this year, man, it's a distinct possibility. Like in our dynasty league, we were taking votes on playing in week 18.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of feel like, Chris, you were in the championship. I kind of felt like y'all should have played it, but
I didn't hate the outcome in terms of it's a tough situation. I was down 20. I just would have loved a chance to play for it. But hey, more important things happened in terms of off the field. So it is what it is. But yeah, a lot of people might be playing in week 18 for sure because of extenuating circumstances.
Yeah. So because of that, Kyler Murray, he's still out. Colt McCoy, he is out. So therefore, Trace McSorley or someone else is going to play for the start for the Cardinals. What a lost season there. You'll probably hear about some of those players here in a little bit. Tyler Huntley, he is going to be a backup this week. I don't remember who is going to get the start, but Lamar Jackson is ruled out again for the 5th straight week. This injury,
like a
I've got
or something. Like I feel like some players would have come back. What's
Lamar? It was his knee. I don't know. I
mean, what an ACL tear. I could pull him up here in a second, but
no, it just says a knee injury. But anyways, it's very weird. Anyways, Justin Fields,
it is.
He is also out. I don't remember who's going to start there. Don't start them anyways, so whatever. Nick Foles, he's not going to be playing this week. It's going to be Sam Ehlinger starting for the stupid Colts. Trevor Lawrence is probably going to play. It's the same injury he's been playing through. Teddy Bridgewater, it says questionable, but he is not going to start this week. It will be Skylar Thompson, I think is his name. He's a rookie. He's going to be starting for the Dolphins because Tua is still out with his concussion. I'm guessing that they're hoping that the Dolphins are hoping that they get into the playoffs and that Tua will be healthy for that. Mike White, quarterback for the Jets, has been ruled out because of his rib injury.
Really? God bless it. Okay.
Yeah. That just happened a little bit ago. Jalen Hurts, he is questionable for this week, but Nick Sirianni, I believe, was saying earlier that he is trending in the right direction. So whatever. Jimmy Garoppolo is still out, but I think the 49ers are still holding out hope that he's going to be available next week or it's at some point in the playoffs. James Conner, he has a shin and knee injury. He's also ruled out for this week. Deonta Foreman sounds like he might not play. He's been limited in practice with a knee injury. Marlon Mack, no one cares. Josh Jacobs, in case you did care, Marlon Mack is on the injury reserve. Josh Jacobs is listed as questionable after not practicing Wednesday or Thursday. I don't think the Raiders have a chance of making it into the playoffs. So at this point, Josh Jacobs is playing only for stats and for a paycheck. And even then, I don't know if Chris, if you're Josh Jacobs, would you want to play this week?
No. No.
Yeah.
I think he's made his hay. I think he's made his money at this point. Whatever that number may be, I think he's maxed out what he can do. Gosh, it's frustrating. But then again, I don't feel too bad for the guy because I feel like he should have given us more in his first 3 years if he can do this.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering. And also, as this
behind
the
a sus offensive behind a sus offensive line, as far as I'm concerned, still.
Right? And this reeks of the DeMarco Murray gambit that happened where he ran into the ground in Dallas and then went off to
great comparison.
Was it New York?
Philly. He went to the week.
Philly. He went to Philly and he wasn't very good. He
struggled his first year in Philly and then really had a nice year his second year, if I recall.
I think we looked at this at one point. Yeah. Anyways, let's move along to Elijah Mitchell, who has been activated and is expected to be available to play this Sunday. Thanks for a whole lot of nothing this year, Elijah Mitchell. Really could have used you earlier.
Could have put it in on the thumbnail. I tried to not include somebody who is all injury bust. Let me put it that way.
Antonio Gibson, he has been placed on injury reserve with a knee and foot injury. Brian Robinson, his teammate, is also been ruled out with a knee injury. Robbie Anderson, wide receiver for the Cardinals, that no one cares about. DeAndre Hopkins, he's ruled as out as well. What a completely and utter lost season for the Cardinals. Just Wow. Deshaun Jackson, no one really cares. Sky Moore, I'm only bringing him up because what a waste of a trade for the Chiefs. Jacoby Myers, he is listed as questionable with a shoulder injury. He has practice limited so far this week, so potential he'll play. Pete Carroll, dude, we're doing this on a Friday now, and so I am all out of sorts.
And there was not a game yesterday, right? Like we're not playing any league, so.
No. Okay, so right here it says Coach Pete Carroll said Lockett's shin looked good at Friday's practice, and that just threw my brain for a loop. I'm like, but it's Thursday. It's Friday. It's Friday, folks. Anyways, Treylon Burks, he has a groin injury and he's listed as questionable for tomorrow night's game. Reminder, folks, there is a mid-afternoon game that's starting at like 3:30. That is the Raiders and the Chiefs. And right. There is also the Titans taking on the Jaguars, I believe, as well. Anyways, Irv Smith has been activated from the IR for the Minnesota Vikings. And yada yada yada. Let's move
along.
That's kind of all the news. Before we start, Chris.
Yes.
I had to sneeze.
Okay. I thought it was gonna be much more involved. And I saw you go to sneeze, and I was like, "Oh, that's all." Oh, okay, cool. You ready for the draft, then, sir?
I am ready for a draft. Are you ready for a draft? Because I'm just going to start it if you are.
I just mean I need to change scenes. That's all. I need to switch off of the switcher. Go display one. Let's see if it works. That didn't work.
I'm setting our draft picks at 3 minutes so we have more time to talk.
What just happened? Oh, wow. Slight technical difficulty. Give me 2 seconds. What the heck, man? Oh. No, yeah, I'm on the right thing.
Stuff that it normally would. Were you going to be selecting players that
we're good
either we thought we were really high on in each round, but ended up being a bust? Whether it was, I personally don't like to do bust based on injury, but I can see where the point can be made for some of these guys. You know, like, well, you probably should have seen that coming a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pick some guys that are just, we'll run out of options and be like, to be fair, this guy was really a bust based almost entirely, like a Cooper Cup, like based almost entirely on injury. But it still counts.
Because
it still
even
counts.
Then he was I mean, like, he was solid up until
that's
like
true. But he hurt you in the last third of the season. Call it that.
Half.
Okay.
Played only in 9 games, but he still averaged 18.2 fantasy points, which is still the second most.
For sure.
2. Who was first?
You're asking me who was first?
Yeah.
Bust? Who's gonna go first?
No. Who had the most points per game in the wide receiver position?
Jefferson.
You got it. By 0.5 point.
There you go.
All right, you ready?
I am.
All right, here we go. I'm going to start it. We have 3 minutes per pick, so we have time to talk.
Okay, cool. And the other guys are bots, so the bots will pick correctly, right?
Bots. Okay. The bots will pick based on the sleepers pre-ranks. Let's start with the first one here, Chris, with the 101. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor was a bit of a bust because of injury, but also
he's so
because
highly ranked, you kind of maybe you should go with him. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, like, he went at the 101 because that's what the computers preseason ranks were. But he ended up as RB32. Only averaged 12 points per game. That's not very good.
Awful value.
Yeah,
I think that qualifies as a bust. Yeah. Despite the injury aspect.
I mean, 12 points per game, that's somewhere right around Najee Harris and Travis Etienne sort of thing.
For sure.
Not very good. Not very good. Anyways, I'm going to go with my pick, and my pick will be Austin Eckler. Screw that guy. What a bust.
What? I'm so confused on the format of this show.
See, I'm actually going to draft the ultimate team, and you're going to draft the worst team in the world.
Right.
No, I'm gonna take Najee Harris here, just based on where he's going.
Because he's probably a top 7 guy.
He is ranked 6 here. And Najee Harris was hold on one second. He was the
8th.
He ended up as the RB 15 overall so far.
He turned it on at the end of the season to be
but
clear.
he was it was rough getting there.
It was. All right, I've got the turn here.
I was hoping my next pick was gonna be DeAndre Swift. And I thought that maybe he would follow you there.
He went at 10. He went at 110. Clearly, I mean, gosh, injury based, I guess. I mean, he missed a ton of games, but he also was just very, I don't say coddled, but like put in bubble wrap.
I
really
think at the end of the season, they were definitely doing that with him.
Yeah, for sure. I was out on him because of those reasons. I'm not trying to say, not trying to gloat. I'm just saying I was, no thanks. You know what? I think that's a little slight reach there, but I think I'm going to do it because I feel like everybody else ahead. I mean, Jamar Chase would probably be the good pick here, but I'm going to go for one Alvin Kamara.
Nice. That's what it was. I'm like, dude, it's
got to be Alvin Kamara. I'm going to try to pick it on the screen here. No, that's not going to work, Chris.
I mean, he's RB20, but he missed a couple of games, and he was just, how many touchdowns did he actually end up with this year? Hold on a second. 2.
I can't remember how to
4.
draft. Okay, that did it.
Yay!
Oh, I got another one. All right. Sorry, folks. I'm driving a different car.
Alvin Kamara was a good bad pick there, or a bad
absolutely. Just where'd he end up? Oh, golly.
He was RB20.
Thank you. Just scroll down a lot.
But RB20 is really like what, the 4th or 5th round, if not lower.
Mr. Chubb, where did he end up? Goodness.
He was, and you can actually draw a line in the sand where Nick Chubb went downhill, and that was after I traded for him. 22
overall, it would appear. Yeah, that's overall. 22. That's not awful, but
RB6 overall.
RB6. That's fine. Okay, I'll avoid that then.
I know who your pick should be, but go ahead.
Not CD. I hope.
Nope.
Javonte by injury.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Do that.
Give me a second. Javonte.
Purely off of injury. And
Kamara Williams. What a start.
Honestly, I feel like if Javonte Williams had stayed healthy, like they would have seen Melvin Gordon just being like, dude, we'll just give the ball more to Javonte. Like, oh man,
dude,
what could have been?
What could have been? Exactly. Well said.
Okay, I have 2 guys here for this bust draft: Deebo Samuel and Mark Andrews. I'm gonna go Mark Andrews.
You were the guy that was a little tight end early this draft this season. So
I think doing that next year too.
I think that's a great discussion point. I think that's a great discussion point since you'll be on not quite the turn, but you'll be up here again in a second. I guess you already answered it, but does Andrews busting kind of scare you off?
No, it's just kind of like he got injured, then Lamar got injured. I'm willing to call it a bad year and hope that it's going to get back to 2020, 2021 next year in 2023.
Reroll the dice. Is it still just Kelsey and Andrews?
It's definitely Kelsey at the top.
Sure.
Then Andrews. Then, man, I don't know. I'm going to probably push the other guys down, but not too far down.
I think I would push Kelsey to beginning of second, maybe even mid-second.
Oh, really?
I know we thought age this year, and I was wrong. I'm not going to throw you in that barrel too, but I was wrong. I was there. I thought we might need to move him back a bit, even with the tight end premium position scarcity. But And it looked iffy to begin with, but I think he ended up fine. Obviously, the tight end won, but also compared to wide receivers and running backs, I think he was still pretty damn good. So I just can't include anybody else in that.
I'm gonna go Mark Andrews, mainly because I was telling people to be like, dude, draft Mark.
I think he was my tight end one. Actually, now that I think about it, he was mine
as well.
There you go.
And Deebo Samuel went right before mine because Deebo Samuel would have been a great pick here. Great. And
for the bus draft.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Bust, and it wasn't just injury. He was okay as far as like his points per game and everything, but he was not great overall. Like he was 11.4 points per game. That's not where he was last year. Some of that could have been a little bit of health towards the end and whatever, but yeah. I'm gonna have to actually go another tight end here, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at what's on the board here. You know what? No, I'm gonna go wide receiver here. Michael Pittman. I'm going Pittman.
Oh, good one. I like it.
Just the Colts all around, top to bottom, just hot garbage this year. I don't think I need to say much more than that. I was kind of hoping James Conner was going to make it to you, but all right.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. I just turned my eyes to that. Kyle Pitts went at the 3.7. That's Bust City. Just an awful offense. No quarterback to speak of as far as I'm concerned. All right, so it's to me. Let's go back to the spreadsheet here. Give me 2 seconds. Keenan Allen, I'm kind of considering him. Ooh, DJ Moore at 36 overall. I'm right in that ball. I'm right. I'm literally at that spot. Yeah, I'm gonna go DJ Moore here.
Plays for Carolina Panthers. Enough said.
Yeah, amen. I couldn't agree more.
That team. I mean, DJ Moore had like his obligatory 1 or 2 good games, and everyone was like, "Oh, okay, DJ Moore," and nope. Fool's gold.
Oh, can I just get the guy I want to draft, for heaven's sakes? So dumb. Oh,
Did you figure it out?
I'm still in running back. My bad. Bam. There's DJ.
Next up. I mean,
Kittle?
You could go Brees based on injury.
Kittle was really back and forth, and he missed the first 3 or 4 games off the top of my head. I don't have a tight end.
He missed 2 games.
He probably would have been a lot of people's discussion in terms of going tight end early. Yeah, I like it, I think.
I think he missed actually 3 games.
We have a couple minutes to talk. I'm going to wait to pick him. Go ahead.
2.
Go ahead.
I feel like it was, but if you remember correctly, I'm going to look this up real quick before I open my mouth and insert my foot.
Sure.
His first 3 weeks, even 4 weeks were kind of actually he's been just super boom bust all year.
He's been really good lately though, if I'm not mistaken.
He's had 2 out of his last 3 were great, and then his last week was okay, I guess. 8.3. He has maybe 4. He has 4 great games and 2 meh games, and the rest of them are awful. So yeah, that could be a quarterback play. Whatever.
There we go.
I'm not going to besmirch you if you take Kittle. I mean, he's kind of just a tight end, he's going to shoot you in the foot, or he can win you the week, or he can shoot you in the foot. What's he going to do?
I mean, did Juwan Johnson finish ahead of him? That's a possibility.
No.
Close though. So it was Kittle tight end 5.
4.
Oh, okay.
Johnson's 8. A difference of 40 plus points.
Yeah, Johnson kind of fell apart the last couple of weeks.
Anyways.
Bam. I hate this team.
Deontay Johnson should have been. You could have argued Deontay Johnson there.
I was Mr. Deontay Johnson. Not terribly early. I was probably in line with market value. which
Chris,
was
I'm
wrong.
you know what? Because it's a bus draft, I'm gonna go quarterback here. I'm gonna take Lamar Jackson.
That's fair because a handful have gone off already, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
I mean, Lamar Jackson, like
Allen, Mahomes, Herbert. That's it. Those three are gone. I think Lamar was most people's 4, 5, or 6. Where is he at an ADP, Christopher?
can we get a half? It doesn't matter what if it's PPR or standard. It's a quarterback. I mean,
Fair,
he scored
fair.
okay. I mean, he was pretty good. I don't know. Remember Lamar Jackson scoring this many points.
44 overall, QB4. So I was, yeah. That would be literally the QB4 right now.
Yeah.
He had some Lamar games.
That was from the previous year. Okay. I'm going to actually not take Lamar because I don't know if he's quite draft bust worthy.
Oh, this right-hand column on the left-hand preseason ranks is their rank from 2021?
Sure. I wasn't really looking at it. I'm looking at sleepers now.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, gotcha.
Okay, I'm going to go J.K. Dobbins here. Injury, of course, for a guy who was trying so hard to be quote ready for the beginning of the season and then just missed so much time.
You were on that early. You called it early. You were like, man, he's not going to be ready, and he wasn't.
And he missed 2 games, and then he played 4, and then he missed some more time, and it was just like, yeah, and even then, like he wasn't very good this year, and I think a lot of it was.
Not the last 2 or 3 weeks, but a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks before that, he had 2 solid games in a row.
Yeah, I'm ready to hit I'm really ready to give him the reset button like Mark Andrews because of injury. And
I was just gonna say that Baltimore offense was really shot in the toe. I'll put it that way.
Oh man, we're on what, round 5 right now? I'm gonna go.
Excuse me.
I'm staring down. I'm gonna go Allen Robinson. Just bust city. You were right, Chris. I was wrong. Allen Robinson.
Good point. I almost put him in the thumb. I was like, it's a little low-hanging fruit there.
Oh, and Russell Wilson wasn't?
Fair. And I don't usually like to go quarterback route, but I was like, oh, this is too good. I saw the picture. I said, I got to choose this one. All right, let's go down a little bit. Yeah. All right, back around to my turn, if you will. At the turn,
I think you should take the guy first on the top there of the pre-draft rankings.
AJ Dillon. Fair.
Yeah.
Good point.
I think it's a great one. I mean, even I was kind of buying into it. Like there was just so much, and this is why I don't really like narrative. But there was just so much narrative of like, who's Rodgers going to throw to? They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball with Aaron Jones, and they're going to bring AJ Dillon in. He's going to bowl people over. They're just going to run, and that is not really what happened.
I got a great idea here. I need running backs because I haven't. Oh, well, that's not fair. Actually, I've taken 2 running backs, but you know me, I love going running back heavy, so I'm going to get almost my whole running back stable taken care of here and take good old CEH.
Yeah, just insert reason to not take CEH. Like
exactly. We could go on all night. I think both of us saw that coming. Not trying to be prognosticators, but definitely just the dark cloud that hangs over Chiefs running backs, which I absolutely love that Pacheco put somewhat of a kibosh on that. I think Pacheco's got some hope there. Was he a godsend in fantasy? No. To be fair, he wasn't. Like he could have used a touchdown or 2 on the ground in the red zone, but that's not their MO. They're gonna toss it to Kittle. I'm sorry. They're gonna toss it to Kelsey. They're gonna run a shovel pass to Kelsey. They're gonna do all kinds of interesting stuff on the goal line, but give it to the decently big and fast running back.
I'm gonna argue fast, but okay. Okay, my pick here. I'm looking at a couple of guys here. I'm looking at Michael Thomas, who was a definite bust, especially in the 6th round. It would be my wide receiver 3. But I'm gonna go Gabe Davis because
Okay.
I was pretty high.
I'm looking at all three of these wide receivers, honestly.
I was pretty high on Gabe Davis going into the year, and he did not pan out whatsoever. He had a couple good weeks, but man, it wasn't good.
It was awful.
I tried making it a thing. I tried willing it into existence. Chris, I need a quarterback, and guess who's sitting there and looking at me in the face right there?
Mr. Cook himself, Russ.
Mr. I have more toilets than touchdowns.
Not anymore,
Russell
apparently.
Wilson.
He passed that a week or so ago, I heard.
Damn it.
It's okay. You can still take him. I need a QB. We'll see.
Okay. While you ponder this, I'm going to go through your roster real quick. So far in the bust draft, Chris has Alvin Kamara. Kamara's been bad. Javonte Williams, he got injured, so fine. DJ Moore, bad quarterback play. Kittle, just so many downs with not enough ups. AJ Dillon, just kind of wasn't really the thing that everyone thought it was going to be. CEH never was, and Chris's next pick will be.
Give me a second. I was searching a guy on the spreadsheet, the old spreadsheet here.
I think you should pick Dak.
No, I do need a QB, but I was thinking more. I'm really hurting at receiver, and I've got multiple names at the top of the preseason rankings here to take, including. Dang it! I mean, click on that. Including Drake London, if I'm not mistaken.
That's who I was eyeballing.
Again, I'm really hurting a receiver. I only have DJ Moore in the third round. I might take back-to-back receivers and punt on QB and still manage to get an awful one. As weird as that feels.
Because guess what? There's one coming up.
Yeah, exactly. And he might last.
He plays for my quote favorite NFL team.
Dak is a good pick, though. I'm not going to lie. But I am going to forego QB for now because that's usually my usual MO.
Do you think Dak has really been a bust this year? Keep going. I'm going to look it up.
Let me get my 2 picks in and let's talk about Dak. Again, I'm going to go Drake London. Elijah Moore. Awful picks.
I like it.
Yep.
Awful picks.
For similar reasons, actually. I
feel like Dak wasn't as bad as we all remember him being.
I feel like lately, in the last few weeks, I've read that they're still like the number one offense since he's been back. Granted, you have to put that stipulation on it because of the injury. Fair. But they're still the number one offense since he's been back. But man, those turnovers. Now, fantasy-wise, because we're a fantasy show, I don't know what he's been since week. I believe it was 5 when he got back. They put up yards. They put up points. He throws touchdowns. But I can't lie that my Cowboy fandom kind of clouds my vision here in a negative way. I'm kind of upset. He used to be that guy that didn't turn the ball over. Please, go ahead.
I'm going to go Zach Ertz here because I can flex a tight end. I am going to go. I got rid of that extra flex spot, and yet it's still there. God darn it.
Oh, here in sleep.
Anyways.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, this is a mock, so. Oh, in the mock settings. Understood. Gotcha. Sorry.
I specifically changed it. Anyways, because I can start 2 tight ends, I'm going to go Zach Ertz because injury and also Kyler Murray is. I'm sorry, I'm not a Kyler Murray fan. I'm officially not a Kyler Murray fan at all.
I'm definitely on the fence.
Next up, the guy that I wanted made it back to me.
Gotta go.
I need a running back, and I have the illegitimate father of your firstborn, Chris, Melvin Gordon.
Nice pick.
So bad. He played so bad he got cut from the Broncos after Javonte Williams got injured.
I think I see the appropriate pick for me here. One of 2 guys because I need a quarterback. And I think I don't want to go out on too far of a limb and say I sung his praises, but I definitely thought Derek Carr was going to end up being a value in the same vein of a Kirk Cousins.
Oh man, okay. Go ahead.
And I don't think it ended up being that, so I'm going to go Derek Carr. I've got 4 RBs. I got my tight end. I got 3 receivers. I can kind of go all over the place here.
Before you make your pick, tell me what you're going to pick, and then I'll tell you what I wanted to pick if I was you.
Jeez, it looks really scary. Then we could go name value and go Julio, but I really don't want to do that. Gotta remember I'm picking bad, though. Okay, well, let's rewind a little bit here. I mean, was it Claypool on the Steelers to begin with? I don't think I...
Yep.
Jeez. Rookie. I don't have any rookies, do I? If any, at all. Treylon Burks.
Okay.
For my 4th receiver. Yep, let's go with that.
I would have went Sky Moore because everyone was just...
That's a solid
It's a
point,
wide
actually.
receiver for the Chiefs, Sky Moore, blah, blah, blah.
1, 2,
and then he's been
3,
injured
4, 5,
and he's
5
barely
picks
seen
later.
the field.
5 picks later he went. That's a really
Yeah.
good point. He was... I can't even say he, quote, flashed. I've seen him make some plays. Absolutely. I think it's a coaching thing. I think it's a depth chart thing. I think they have enough at the top of the depth chart to spread the ball around. He just was never going to hit. He was never going to hit, clearly.
Yeah. I'm going to go with a guy here who I really liked preseason. I was really kind of like, he was kind of more of a sleeper guy that was going a little bit later in drafts.
Mm-hmm.
But I did like him, and I was talking him up a lot. And it's MVS. He really didn't do much. So I'm going Mr. MVS.
In the same vein of what we said about Sky Moore. Getting a value in a high-powered offense.
Well, I thought there was going to be I thought he was going to be more. And actually, if you look at his earlier games, that's projection. Damn it. Yeah, he was just not very usable at all.
Agreed.
What's banging around over there?
Oh, can you hear it? Sorry, it's the children upstairs.
Oh, really?
They're on a thing, yeah. My noise gate isn't tuned to the nth degree, so there's definitely going to be some stuff coming through. Hopefully not the furnace. That's one thing that shouldn't come through, but...
Yeah, MVS scored double-digit points twice. I figured there was going to be boom bust like a Mike Williams, like big game, bust game, big game, bust game,
and get a reasonable a way to see it coming, to pick it, like you can with some occasional Mike Williams or can't think of another name off the top of my head, but yeah, didn't work out.
I mean, we're getting kind of into the thick of it here, Chris.
I got to, including this round that we both have a pick in, we've got 3 rounds left.
4.
Why does it end there at 13 points? What am I? Oh, can I not see?
You can scroll down.
I'm trying. It's there. I'm pretty sure I've scrolled to the bottom. It ends at 13.6 for some reason. I don't know why.
What does?
The draft. Maybe I'm wrong. I am zoomed in, so it's a little harder to...
It ends at 15:12.
Really? What am I seeing?
I don't know.
All right, I'm going to zoom out for a second.
I say we call it
pick.
good after this round anyways, because it's all just kind of dart throws anyways. But so I'm going to try and go find a guy that I was really on as a sleeper. And that was... I'm going to go with Tyler Algiers. I was kind of on him as a sleeper. I figured the competition in front of him wasn't really that strong, so he should maybe had a chance to shine. It didn't work out that great. I'm not sure that I didn't know if he was that great of a back to begin with, but
I hear
whatever.
you. I hear you. I feel like I'm sitting fine at receiver. DJ Moore is definitely going to break out. Drake London is just, yeah, we're good.
Drake London, he's the second coming of Jesus at the wide receiver position, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay.
I got my tight end in Kittle. I usually like to go RB heavy. Do I need to throw him under the bus? No. I could go with the Chiefs theme again with Pacheco and hope. I could go Rashad. Sorry, it helps me remember how to spell it. Rashad White. I was kind of into him.
Those aren't really bust, those.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like Rashad White put it together in the second half of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, yeah, he was okay.
Maybe the back third.
Same with Isaiah Pacheco. It was kind of okay. What about
Tyrion Davis Price? Ooh, he was kind of a thing, wasn't he?
Maybe.
It was
I'd say
pre-CMC. It was pre-CMC. Granted, Mitchell had the job. So maybe that's BS.
I'd say maybe Michael Gallup.
I should take a 5th receiver instead of a 5th running back.
Yeah, do what you want.
I'm going to take a running back. Well, I get 2 picks, so
I was going to call it after this pick, anyways.
I like the Gallup pick either way.
It's all dart throws at this. I'm done with this draft. Like we're going to go to kickers. We're going to go to kickers and
Zamir White. So. I like Zamir White. I think a lot of people were non-believers in the guy we talked about a little bit of at the beginning of the show, Josh Jacobs. Yeah, I like that. You got Devontae Adams coming in, raising the level of the offense, and it kind of didn't work out at all.
Okay, I'll do one last pick, and it's Jarvis Landry, and
right, or at least going back to Zamir real quick, banking on Josh Jacobs' injury history. Yeah, I like it. What were you saying?
Jarvis Landry. Yeah. New Orleans Saints wide receiver. Their quarterback isn't very good. I'm not really all that convinced that Jarvis Landry can even stay healthy for an entire season at this point. Mm-hmm. Nor is he that great at scoring touchdowns. So
he couldn't afford to lose a step or two, and I think he's lost a step or two.
Yep. Okay, Chris. I'm going to recap my team. You do yours, and we'll call it a day. So this is the bust draft. So guys that you drafted that really killed you. Najee Harris. He ended up being okay, but considering he's a first-round pick, I'm calling it a bust. Not as busty as, say, maybe DeAndre Swift, or Alvin Kamara, but, whatevs. Mm-hmm. Mark Andrews, definite bust in the second round. Injury. His quarterback got injured. Just a lost season for Andrews. Michael Pittman, he was definitely going in the third. I saw him going in like the second in some drafts too. Like the Colts were a dumpster fire this year. J.K. Dobbins, same with like Mark Andrews, same team too. Injury, quarterback injury, just blah blah blah. Allen Robinson, I picked him here because I thought that Allen Robinson was going to thrive with Matt Stafford. Stafford didn't look all that great this year. I mean, did enough to support Cooper Kupp, but Allen Robinson, I'm calling him cooked. It's like if he comes out next year and he has a surprisingly decent campaign in 2023, I wouldn't be super surprised, but I'm calling him kind of cooked.
But I'm willing to miss like a MF on him. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I called it this year. Yeah.
Gabe Davis, a guy that I was really in on. Granted that playoff game with the Bills really kind of like put the shine on the turd of Gabe Davis. No, sorry, Gabe Davis. But I'm like, Josh Allen's a great quarterback. I've come around on him, and he still is a great quarterback. I just figured that it would be more Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs, and it's just been Stephon Diggs. It's actually just been
and
Josh Allen just spreading
and a little McKenzie.
It's just been Josh Allen spreading the ball around, really.
Yep, that's a better way to say it, probably. But
because even Diggs wasn't like, he was good and he was great at the more in the first half than the second half.
There were folks, me included, that were almost hoping that Gabe Davis would step into the mid wide receiver 2, maybe even low end wide receiver 1 territory, and be one of those dual wide receiver high powered offenses, and that did not happen whatsoever.
Nope. Next up, my quarterback is Russell Wilson. I don't think we need to go into that too much. That's all I'll say about that. Zach Ertz, injury. Kyler Murray didn't play that well. That team is, I don't know. There's talks about firing Cliff Kingsbury. I don't think it happens. They just give him an extension, but weird things in the NFL have happened. On to Melvin Gordon, the father of Chris' illegitimate firstborn.
More Bronco love.
Marcus Valdez-Scantling, a wide receiver that I thought he was a good sleeper, later in definitely in the second half of drafts that, could definitely maybe kind of bolster your team, like a good wide receiver 3 to start at times. Then Tyler Algier, a rookie wasn't he out of BYU? Just a big bruising back that I thought maybe could take the reins in Atlanta. Didn't work out. Jarvis Landry, turd. And yeah, that's my team. Chris, what do you got?
I've got, let me get over here so everybody can see what's going on. change scenes so they can see me and not you, just because they can't see the pics if they can't. Anyway, thought I started really strong, aka weak, with Alvin Kamara at the 112 at the turn because, again, bad offense lowers all ships, if you will. Just a
low tides lowers all boats.
Yep. The low-hanging fruit, I guess if you want to call it that, and Javonte Williams getting hurt. I don't recall off the top of my head. Very early on, week 1, week 2.
Keep going.
DJ Moore
it was in week 4.
Oh, thank you, sir. But also, hey, bad quarterback. Kind of didn't believe it yet in week 4. Really bad. DJ Moore, more of the same. Just awful quarterback play. Team in a, I guess you could call it, rebuilding situation. George Kittle was more of a, I guess you could call it borderline. Really an up and down player. Really more of a just a tight end, kind of mid-range tight end 1, which really didn't happen until the last third of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Really buoyed his performance with that second half performance, if you will. Other than that, he was hurt the first 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, and then came out really slow. Onward and upward, A.J. Dillon. Really, I hate to keep beating this dead horse, but bad quarterback play from Mr. MVP Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Two-time MVP Aaron Rodgers. A.J. Dillon just couldn't put it together. They did have quite a few injuries on the offensive line. A back of his size is definitely going to feel that pinch. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Just too much spreading the ball around. Yeah, right. Too much spreading the ball around in KC.
He's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Enough said, man. Enough said. It's
hard. Well, I want to expound a little bit. It's hard to find the right KC running back. I'm not going to harp on Pacheco being the guy because he was still a bit underwhelming in terms of he was fine. He was a flex, maybe a low-end RB2 at the end of the day. But in that offense, man, they just like to throw a lot. And hey, they have arguably the best quarterback in the league, so it's hard to get away from that in terms of a play caller. Drake London, there's been a lot of shine on rookie receivers in the past 2 or 3 seasons. We should have saw this coming on a horrible offense. Marcus Mariota is just not what you want out of quarterback. Elijah Moore, Zach Wilson might be the shining example of bad quarterback play this year, folks, from a young guy. From a second overall pick, just awful. And for the rookie, is it Garrett Williams, right? Is the one in
Garrett Wilson.
God dang, I do that every time with the
They
last
have
name.
the same last name.
Do they? Oh,
Garrett
Zach
and Zach.
And Zach. Okay, gotcha. That might help me remember that. Except Zach's probably gone now. Anyway, for the rookie to, I don't know, outperform him as far as I'm concerned, that's a bit of a shock there. Derek Carr, I think when you get a player of the caliber of Devontae Adams, you hope he can raise enough to get into that low-end QB1 territory. At least that's what I was hoping. More like a Kirk Cousins kind of value there. Couldn't have been further from the truth. Treylon Burks.
I gotta say before.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I thought when you said you were gonna wait on quarterback, I thought you were gonna wait till the bitter end and take Matt Ryan.
Oh yeah. I had some hope for Ryan, but yeah, that was awful. But Carr was better than Ryan, to be clear, but Carr was still disappointing in terms of a value pick in the close
Carr
to
was
double.
usually taken before Ryan too in drafts. So anyways,
absolutely. But I'm just saying, as far as value, wait until almost a double-digit rounds to take a quarterback. He did not deliver. Treylon Burks, more rookie love here to not pan out. Coinciding with bad quarterback play and just a really
Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis, not very
good. Absolutely.
Michael Gallup. Burks was injured at times too.
Absolutely. Michael Gallup tethered to an injured for the first 4 weeks. 4 games at least in the beginning of the season. Dak, high-powered offense, really was not high-powered with Cooper Rush at the helm. And even since Dak has been back, it's been a little bit more all CD and Schultz. So Gallup was not. He was also banged up. I don't think he was quite ready to hit the ground running. Zamir White, if you were a person to not believe in the health history of Josh Jacobs, he would have been a great dart throw at running back. Didn't work out whatsoever. And then I auto-drafted a backup tight end. That's all I have to say.
Chris, how about we could just call it a night?
I agree.
All right, we've been amazing fantasy football. That was our bus draft. We'll have some more, I think, a little bit more in-depth coverage on individual positions for the next 2 or 3 weeks. But we will be doing this on Friday nights, and so the podcast will probably come out on Saturdays. We don't do a lot of playoff fantasy football. That's more daily. I should look into that daily next year. I keep forgetting about it. I don't know anyone that does it, so no one ever talks about it, like, and I constantly forget about it. Um, it, but until then, if you are playing in week 18, we do wish you good luck, and till then, catch you next week.
Peace.